What do you think about this kind of new wave, let's call it, of decentralized ID?
Yeah, so I'm pretty fascinated by it because the other thing that I teach is like cybercrime. So cybercrime would be so you can probably see the connection. You know, it's kind of handy to study both of them. So you can pull examples from crypto every week. Um, and in cybercrime, what you get is a sense, I guess, of the dark side of how identity, say, currently exists. So the way that we treat identity now is um, a little bit flimsy, I guess. You know, it's very ad hoc. You know, you sign up to websites, you're like putting in credit cards into databases. You're giving your phone number to all kinds of people. And yeah, we just have a very lax sort of attitude towards it, and we don't really know where that information goes. Right? It goes from our perspective. It goes into the internet, and we get like whatever we're ordering. That's all we care about. And if it's Amazon, maybe it's not going to be an issue. But if we're ordering from a smaller shop, you know, it's probably being sold in some darknet marketplace for Bitcoin at the moment. You know, so I do think that. When I'm thinking about it, I often do have that in the back of my mind that I do like the idea of having an identity where it is a more of a MetaMask experience. So let's say that my identity at least could be partially like maybe like with a zero knowledge proof. So these things that are emerging where you know you can sort of reveal the information without actually giving all the information away. So maybe just like a little hash of the information so they know it's you, and then they can interpret that on the other side in order to like send you some goods. So this is like my ideal like future outcome of where that could go. So I do like the idea of yeah, having control of your identity in that kind of way, where if you do decide to reveal it to people, you're effectively just revealing, instead of addresses and names, you know, just like the public address, right? That kind of thing. But then you get into the other problem, which is the one that you're mentioning, is that you begin to accumulate essentially a blockchain record. So now you've got so you've dodged the problem of like random companies with their lax security properties storing your information, and you've replaced it with I don't know. Let's hope that we don't end up with an authoritarian regime which just looks at my blockchain record and reveals the terrible things that I've been doing on chain for everybody to see. So this is where so the identity system that I think needs to emerge, the way in which we're going to have to look at this, and I think this is like an education thing that's going to take a lot. I don't think this is going to happen anytime soon, but we effectively need to have two. We're going to have to, or more, like we're going to have something, something that is our official, like state or government, public identity. So, like, let's say if you're looking at it, I'm using MetaMask as an example just because most people tend to use it. But like, you pull down your MetaMask, you know, account one would be like your government account, and you're happy for every action that everybody sees on that to be public, whether that's when you're active in the DAO. Whether that's when you're going to I don't know, the dentist appointment or whatever like futuristic scenario that we have where this is going. But obviously from a pure crypto perspective, like we can't simply have a system where like that's it, where you just have like a transparent, complete blockchain record that anybody can identify and then surveil as they wish. But if it's going to be necessary, then the next best thing is to have one that is essentially siloed, you know, possibly even has its own wallet, so you're never even mixing it. You know, it's just like this one wallet that you're using for official business. You only take it out when you're doing something like signing up to government stuff. So I do think we're going in that direction. Maybe you have one that's for public participation in DAOs. Maybe you even have like NFTs that are for courses you've taken on Rabbit Hole, which means you can now get a job at a DAO as a contributor. The cool stuff like that. So this, I guess, would be the more solar punk vision. Gitcoin, they're sort of introducing some identity systems along these lines as well. And then retroactive public goods funding. So where people are actually doing good stuff, they could actually be rewarded for it, I think, as well in a public way. You know, rather than just getting like tokens, they could be rewarded by earning positions of influence, like a steward or a delegate in a DAO. But I do think, yeah, we then definitely have to have other identities which are absolutely completely separated from those. And so the next phase, not the next phase, but a phase that's coming up at some point is going to be blockchain literacy. So where people are going to have to understand the nature of their identity and how the identity needs to be broken up. If you go back to the early cypherpunks, they don't really talk about pure privacy, pure identity. They talk about selectively revealing yourself. And I think we need to like think along those lines where it's not that you're a ghost. You're not off grid. You're not like you can't. It's not a situation where you can't be found. You need to be found if we're going to replace the institutions and the structures with our own versions, our own analogs. But it's going to have to be a little bit more conscious. Now, the problem with this is that we know from private keys and storing and how people treat, crypto wallets and stuff, that this is going to be like a hell of a education, because somebody will come along and offer a service that manages all your identities, and then they'll get hacked or something like that and reveal everything about you. But I do think that's the situation needs to be like a blockchain literacy coupled with siloed identities is probably that's the solution that I would probably vouch for.